There are now over 1 million confirmed cases.
And in the UK, the death toll has passed 26,000.
The US has now recorded more than 1 million COVID-19 cases.
Many experts say the only way life can return to normal is with a coronavirus vaccine.
A year ago, the world seemed so different to what it is today. It's as if the world has turned upside down. It is currently 1:06 in the PM, and today I'm going outside during quarantine / lockdown, or whatever you want to call it, for my hormone blockers and my blood tests in relation to my gender stuff. My heart's pounding. For those who are not aware, I am transgender, and in order to block the testosterone that my body naturally produces, I have to take an injection which blocks my testosterone. And because I live in the UK, the NHS deals with all of my injections and all of the blood tests that I need to take in order to be able to transform. And because I'm on blockers and I also take estrogen as a hormone, I'm also meant to have regular blood tests. Today's video is a story time of the time that I went to hospital during the coronavirus lockdown. It just so happens that I live in the absolute middle of nowhere. Just like wherever I have to go, I have to jump into the car and just go to wherever I have to go to. Just because where I live, seeing like 6 to 10 cars on the way to the hospital is like a busy day, I was pretty shocked about how many cars there actually were on the journey. And I'm pretty sure on the way there I counted 13 cars, which for where I live, that's heavy traffic. So I eventually arrived in the village where this doctor's surgery is, and well, I arrived early. And it's always better to be early than to be late, but when you don't know what's going on during the coronavirus lockdown, it can be a little bit scary. So as I was waiting in the car, I was looking around trying to work out what I do. Do the doctors come out? Do I go to the door? What do I do? But after about 5 minutes, I decided to get out of the car and approach the main entrance, which I didn't know if that was the right thing to do. And as I approached the main doors, which were meant to be automatically open doors, the doors didn't open. So there I was, just standing outside of this doctor's surgery, not knowing what to do. And then I noticed a sign in the window. And on this sign, it basically said to ring the doorbell, which, cross-contamination, that doorbell, how am I gonna press the button? And with a moment to think about what to do, I grabbed my sleeve on my hoodie, I pulled it up, and I was like, here goes nothing, I guess. I must have waited about 15 minutes before the door opened. So there I was, being my awkward self outside of this building that looked like it was closed. And then I saw someone. Because of the population of where I live, I kind of recognized some of the doctors, and well, this person, I had never even seen before.
Hi, what can I do for you?
I'm here for an injection.
Right, okay, I'll let her know.
Could I have been any more awkward?
Probably not.
I must have waited another 10 minutes before I recognized someone coming towards me. And when you see someone with one of those giant masks and like an apron and rubber gloves, I felt a little bit intimidated, but I knew who they were. I should note that they were the ones to open the door, and immediately as I entered, they asked me to use the antibacterial gel, which I did. I didn't refuse. And in addition to that, before I was allowed to do anything else, they took a temperature reading from my forehead.
That's fine, here you come.
And as I followed them down the corridor to the room that they were going to give me my injections in, they opened the doors and the door to the actual room was already open. As I entered the room, I sat down like they instructed me to, and I reached into my pocket to grab the hormone blocker formula to give to them, and they halted me. They wanted me to open the box so that they could get the contents from inside. And with a little bit of fumbling around, I managed to open the butt. And well, long story short, they gave me the injection just like normal. And when it came to doing my blood test, it was pretty standard. You have your arm out on the cushion, they take the blood, end of story. Don't want to get into too much detail, just in case any of you have a needle phobia. And when I thought everything was finished and done and perfectly fine, they then tell me that I have to have another injection for a vaccine against measles. So that came as a shocker. And then finally, it was time for me to head back home.
All done. That's it. No more needles today. 3 in one day, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
And just before I left, they requested for me to then use the antibacterial gel again, which I did. And then they opened the door. I was allowed out into the fresh air of the car park, and I went home. On the way back, I realized that entire time that I was in the car park waiting to be allowed in, and that entire time that I was inside of the hospital, I saw absolutely nobody other than the 2 doctors. Even though I was anxious of going out at the very start, I kind of got the courage and the confidence built up within me. I don't really know how to end this video, so what I am gonna do is leave some links down below so you can donate money to help support the key workers and all sorts of different organizations. And if you are struggling with this lockdown and you need to socialize with other people in and around the trans community, I have a Discord server that you peeps can join, and I'll make sure to leave that linked down in the description below. But on that note, thank you ever so much for watching, and remember as always to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Bye!
Goodbye, 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 friends. Goodbye, 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 friends. It's time to say